Greetings everyone. Today we are here to analyze and discuss about the case study of Apex Environmental, and the case summary is Marina Fernandez is a bright, popular and well-informed mechanical engineer who graduated with an engineering degree from State University in June 2014. Anticipating that she could make a nationally ranked college, she took a break for 1 year after its 12th standard. Though she was able to be a national rank list, she got a branch of his choice and only in State University, and so he chose that. Her previous interview was conducted reasonably useful in giving both her and prospective employment as a good impression, where each of them should matter the importance of both of them. Her most anticipated interview was with Apex Environmental, and the interview was, however, a disaster as per Maria. She has asked unnecessarily discounted, irrelevant and sexist questions in the first round of interview. Technical round were later and fairly well. In fact, the president has been quiet in subsequent discussions, and she has received the offer letter after a few days in the company. She was left wondering whether the panel interview had been intentionally tense to see how she has stand up in the pressure. If so, they would have do such a things. So this is a case study. Let's discuss about it. So the first matter of discussion is how would you explain the nature of panel interview which Maria has endured? So do you think this reflect well thought out interview strategy on the part of the firm management? So what would you do to improve the interview process at Apex Environmental?
Good morning to all. From my point of view, it is possible that the panel interview of Maria Fernandez at Apex International was a stress interview, designed to determine how she reacts under pressure and with a barrage of irrelevant, uncomfortable, sexist and occasionally rude questions. The aim of such interview is supposedly to spot sensitive applicants and those with a low or high stress tolerance. So I don't think the interview is careless. But the stress interview at some length is invasive and ethically dubious nature. It demands that the interviewer be both skilled in its use and sure the job really requires handling stress. However, in the given case, it seems that Apex Environment's interview panel may be well acquainted with the company's operations, but could be possibly lacking in experience in HR functions. And also, the panel members are all male who may not be very effective in testing a female candidate for stress. We can clearly see that in the sexist question asked by the panel members. From my point of view, interview is a little rude, so to make the interview process more effective, it is recommended to have an HR manager or any HR specialist in the interview panel. So, Apex Environmental can conduct training to the interview panel members in order to conduct an effective and efficient interview. So, that's all.
The overall expression of the interview was so stressful. This is because Maria Fernandez was a bright, popular and well-informed mechanical engineer who graduated with an engineering degree from State University in June 2003. As she was a bright and intelligent engineer, she always expected a job which can evaluate or where she can implement her working capability and exclusively on her technical skill expertise. So a firm like Apex Environmental, which is a well-known and structured firm where Maria most wanted to work, this can evaluate her working ability perfectly. That was her expectation, but the interview was a disaster for her because it was a stress interview. The interviewer seeks to make applicant uncomfortable with occasionally rude questions. The question ranged from unnecessarily discourteous to irrelevant and sexist such. It reflected a well thought out interviewing strategy on the part of the firm because it helps to identify hypersensitive applicants and those with low high stress tolerance, and Maria was selected because of her responsible and mature behavior. To respond to the question whether it was a well thought interview or not, it is controversial. It can be said that it was not overall well structured, but the interview was effective. The reason was, in the interview, the employer asked too many irrelevant questions like why would you take a job on a waitress in a college if you are such an intelligent person? Also, are you planning on starting a family anytime soon? So these sort of questions were too irrelevant, but the motive of asking that sort of question can be to identify or to know what would she can do if she faces any uncertain situation. What would be her response? Or how she responds in a situation which is under pressure. So as she studied in a well-reputed university, and though she is very brilliant and intelligent, so she can cope up with any technical situation. But what would she do in an uncertain situation? To find out that ability of her, they ask unstructured and irrelevant questions.
Randomly, they asked irrelevant questions to Maria, which were irrelevant and offered the interview. She met the two gentlemen, include president of the company. The discussion was totally about evaluate her ability. It was good, but only these two people were able to know about her technical ability. The other members of interview panel unknown about her ability. The stress interview ethically questionable nature demands that the interview be both skilled in its uses and sure the job really calls for a ability to handle stress. This is definitely not an approach for amateur interrogators or for those without the skill to keep interview under control. The firm can do to improve the situation as the firm was applying unstructured sequential interview so that the firm can identify the true ability of that candidate. For example, ask questions like motivational factors, personality factors, and knowledge and experience factors, so on. Also, firm needs to have capable to have person who have job related knowledge and can conduct an effective interview like asking base questions using a standardized interview from avoid irrelevant questions. That's all.
I think the panel interviews is essentially a stress interview. That the interview is designed to observe Merina's stress tolerance. The strategy of testing applicants' stress tolerance at first, and then examining applications' knowledge and skills is fine. But the choice of question in the stress interview seems to the careless. The interviews at Apex Environmental should better prepare the questions and take out the ones that discriminatorily so that the direction of the interview could be greater towards testing Maria's stress tolerance in relation to the position that she is applying. Also, I think have all 5 minutes interview can be very uncomfortable applicants, especially the female. Applicants may interpret their company as one that discriminates women. The company can place in some female interviews to reduce possible biases or misconceptions of applicants.
So the next question, would you take the job offer if you are Maria? And if you are not sure, what additional information would help to make your choice?
If I was Maria, I would definitely take the job offer. This is because from the very past, I was willing to take a job which can evaluate my working ability, also where I can implement my working on technical ability. So if my interview was not good enough, I would definitely be disappointed. But later, when by a discussion, the president know my ability and technical skill, it would help me to get the job. And after getting the job offer, I would definitely take the job. If a scenario arises that I am not sure whether I would take the job or not, then to make myself sure I need to some more additional information. Here, Maria has some information regarding her job offer. Those were what would be doing, the industry and the firm's location. And in fact, the president had been quite courteous in consequent discussion, as had been the other members of the management teams. Besides this information, if I am not sure about taking the job, then some more information can help me to take my decision. This information can be as follows. Are there any securities of my employment? Is my job future is pessimistic? Is there any lack of insurance or pension benefits? Is there any chances to underemployed? Is the working environment is suitable for the job, where the firm is located, and what is supposed to be my job? Are the people of the firm behaving in a courteous and friendly manner? Such additional information can help me to be sure where I would like to take the job or not. Based on the above question answer, I can make a specific and a clear decision in the case of taking the job. It might seem like an easy decision, but there are many factors to consider to take up a job. Although the job itself was perfect, or I might like what I would be doing, or the fact that the president had been quite courteous in subsequent discussions, doesn't make up for the company's trust interview procedure. There is a clear lack of proper HR management at the corporate level, which might also be true for other departments at the workplace. If work environment and company culture are not up to the standards, there is always the risk of discrimination or sexual harassment, which might hinder my job performance as well as my career growth opportunities. So, I will not take this job as my career option. Thank you.
The job offer from this company, I will get the opportunity put the best use of my training and skills, where I could have successful career in the implementing my knowledge that I gained through my graduations and evaluating my working ability. It will be also help to me practical experience in the workplace. That experience would help me to get the good job of a good company, a better culture in the future. As nothing has been mentioned the case regarding other job offer, I assume that there are other job offers in my hand. In such a case, I will take the job offer. So whatever the conditions, the good or bad, this will increase my working skills. Based on the work cultures, I can always try to find the good job that suit me most. In case the working conditions are very bad, yearly I can resign my job in case of the discriminations and sexual harassment. That's all.
So, can you suggest 10 questions you would ask when interviewing applicants for this job?
I can suggest few questions. First one, how do you think your mechanical engineering degree can help you in your job in the pollution control? Next one, any past experience in dealing with rude customers or people and how you have dealt with such a situation? Explain. Confirm if you have any type of motion sickness like air sickness or ship sickness, etc.
My suggestions are how well you perform with a team, both as a member as well as a team leader. Please give some post examples. And next, what are your short-term as well as long-term career goals? And next, what you do expect from the company?
Some questions, they are, why would we hire you? And another question is, please explain if you have performed any of these essential functions of this job earlier. Please elaborate if yes. And third question is, give an example of the situation which forced you to make a relatively quick decision and how well the decision fared.
In general, so stress interviews come in many shapes and sizes, from mildly disconcerting to downright aggressive. The format depends on the role you are applying for and the organization that's hiring. The goal of a stress interview is to learn how you perform under pressure. The logic is that the way you respond under stress during the interview is indicative of the way you will handle similar situations on the job. Creating an emotional, chaotic setting puts candidates under psychological stress to see if they will crack, remain calm, or even thrive under pressure. Stress interviews can be controversial because they create a sensitive and emotionally charged relationship between the applicant and the hiring manager, and thereby the company, sometimes even the most successful applicants, will turn down an offer on account of the nature of the interview alone. So in this case, the experience of the interview panel and the maturity of the candidate kept the interview in control, and the panel found success in finding the right candidate for such a stressful job position.